Today we need to talk about the most tragic, beautiful, and slightly terrifying love story in the history of entertainment. It's not a romance movie, and it doesn't involve a girl falling in love with a fish, though ironically, the guy we're talking about did win an Oscar for just that. I'm talking about Guillermo del Toro. If you haven't seen the latest headlines, GDT recently sat down for an interview with Soft Tonic and the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast, and he dropped a quote that honestly made me want to give the man a hug and then immediately hide my PC so he doesn't accidentally delete my hard drive. He confessed that video games are his greatest inspiration, not just a hobby, not something he does on the weekend to unwind. His greatest inspiration. Now, on the surface, that is a massive W for us. One of the greatest cinematic minds alive is basically saying, yeah, BioShock is better than most movies I see at Cannes. But if you know the history of Guillermo del Toro in the gaming industry, you know this is actually a horror story, because Guillermo del Toro is the human equivalent of a system error message. Let's look at the facts. GDT doesn't just play games, he studies them. In this recent interview, he was gushing about Shadow of the Colossus, God of War, and BioShock. And he didn't just say, oh, the graphics are neat. No, he went full nerd. He described Odin's fighting style in God of War as a Peaky Blinders brawler. Think about that for a second. An Oscar-winning director is watching Kratos throw hands with a Norse god. And his takeaway is, this reminds me of a gritty British crime drama from the 1920s. That is the most Kyler Ray take I have ever heard, and I love him for it. He's one of us. He's not looking at the ludonarrative dissonance or the frame gen stability. He's looking at a guy getting punched in the face and seeing art. But here's where the tragedy starts. Guillermo del Toro loves games, but the gaming industry is absolutely terrified of him, and for good reason. The man is a walking, talking digital curse. He has famously referred to himself as the Albatross of video games. For those of you who weren't around for the great gaming heartbreaks of the 2010s, let me catch you up. Back in 2010, GDT teamed up with THQ for a game called Insane. It was going to be this massive Lovecraftian horror trilogy. Everyone was hyped. Then THQ literally went bankrupt and ceased to exist. GDT didn't give up. He went to Konami. He teamed up with Hideo Kojima. They released PT, which is arguably the most influential horror demo in the history of the universe. The internet was losing its collective mind. And what happened? Konami decided they hated money and joy, fired Kojima, deleted PT from the store, and salted the earth where the studio once stood. GDT literally said in an interview, if I join another project, World War III will start. And look, I get it. I'm a gaming news guy, but I sprinkle in some life stuff here too, and I feel his pain. I have that same energy. Last week, I decided I was going to be a productivity king, right? I bought a fancy new planner, a $100 ergonomic mouse, and a standing desk. Within 24 hours, my internet provider cut my line. My cat threw up on the mouse, accidentally deleted my entire work folder while trying to organize my desktop. Some of us are just born with a +10 curse modifier. We are the main characters of a tragedy we didn't sign up for. But what makes GDT different is that he's not bitter, he's just obsessed. In this Soft Tonic article, he talks about how games are the only medium that truly captures scale. Talks about the Shadow of the Colossus like it's a religious experience. And that brings us to the Kojima bromance. Because the only person who was brave enough to keep working with the Albatross was, in fact, Hideo Kojima. But even Kojima was like, listen, Guillermo, I love you, but I'm not letting you touch the code. I don't want the building to be hit by a meteor. However, I will scan your entire body, put you in a suit, and make you carry a baby in a jar around a post-apocalyptic wasteland. And Guillermo, being the absolute giga chat he is, said, finally a normal request. When do we start? The result was Death Stranding, and honestly, it's the only way GDT could survive in the industry. He can't be the director, he has to be the ghost in the machine. He has to be a character because if he tries to lead a project, the universe's physics engine starts to break. But there's a serious point here in the middle of all of this chaos. We live in an era where Hollywood is constantly trying to fix video games. We see these adaptations where directors clearly don't like the source material. They think games are silly or for kids, and they try to turn them into generic action movies. Borderlands. Then you have GDT. He's at the top of the film world, and he's looking down at games as the superior art form. He's not trying to fix them, he's trying to learn from them. He realizes that a game like BioShock does storytelling better than 90% of the scripts landing on his desk in Hollywood. Industry could just find a way to break the curse if we could get a Guillermo del Toro directed horror game that actually makes it to launch. It would probably be the greatest thing we've ever played. But until then, we just have to watch him from a distance, gushing about God of War on podcasts like he's a kid who just got a PS2 for Christmas. So Guillermo, if you're watching this, and you're probably not, you're busy winning Oscars and being a legend, please, for the love of everything holy, stay away from Rockstar Games. I really, really want GTA 6 to actually come out in 2026. Don't even visit the office. Don't even send them a tweet. We can't risk it. The industry needs you as an inspiration, not as a lead developer. You stay in your lane making masterpieces, and we'll stay in ours playing the games that inspire you. Safer for everyone this way. What do you guys think? Is the GTT curse real, or is he just the most unlucky gamer in history? And if you did make a game, what would you want it to be? Let me know down in the comments. While you're down there, hit the like button, subscribe if you want more news, commentary, and general life rants, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe out there and try not to get cursed. Peace.